Here we are in another beautiful, beautiful sunny morning. So let's go ahead and get started with our word problem. Go ahead and set up your problem the way we usually do, and then we'll get started. So today's problem is this. My friend Fadila had 27 bows for her hair. She gave Taylor 13 bows. How many bows does she have left? So what we're going to do is we're going to do some cubs today. And we're going to go ahead and circle our numbers, the 27 and 13. Now, did you hear the word that I needed to underline in the question? That's right, it says have left. And then we're going to go ahead and cross off the U. Then we're going to box the question. And then we can go ahead and solve the problem. So what we're going to do is we have to think about what it is that we're doing. When we have the word left, does that mean we're adding or subtracting? Well, let's stop and think about it. If I had 27 like Fadila did, and then I took some out of it, that's right, I need to subtract. Now, what am I going to do? Am I going to draw 27 by doing tens frames? No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my quick tens again. So I have quick tens, 10, 20, and then I have to have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's my 7. So 27. Now what I need to do is I need to take 13 away from there. How do I do that? Well, I know 13 is 10, 3, right? So I'm going to cross off a 10, and I'm going to cross off 3. So I have 1 10 and 4 ones left, which is 14, right? 1 10, 4 ones, 14. Not too bad, right? So now let's take a look at our number bond. We know our total, and we know one of the parts. So which one is which? That's right, 27 is our total, and that's the number of bows she has. We know she gave Taylor 13, so I'm going to put a T here. So we want to know how many she has left. Now, how are we going to do this? Are we going to punch 13 and count up to 27? Are we going to punch 27 and count backwards to 13? Well, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we need to use that hundreds chart again. So let's flip this back over here, okay? So if we had 27 here, and we have to jump backwards 13, I could go ahead and count by ones going backwards 13, but I don't really want to do that. What I want to do is I want to remember that if I make a jump up or down, it's like adding 10 or subtracting 10. So watch this. You just told me that it's 1 10 and 3 ones. So if I'm at 27, I know one jump up is 10. So I can go 10, 11, 12, 13. Do you see how I just did that? So I came up with an answer of 14, just like we did up above. So I can put that here. Now I need my number sentence. Now, I want you to pay close attention to the number sentence because this is going to kind of give you like a sneak peek at what we're going to start doing in Unit 6, okay? So I started with 27. I took out 13 to come up with my answer. Now, just like we do with addition, we're going to go ahead and rewrite the problem. I'm going to do 27, but this time I'm going to say minus 13, and I want to show you what I'm going to do. I'm still going to do that, but watch what I do. I'm going to subtract using the ones first, and then I'm going to do the tens. So now, if I break it down, I can go 7 minus 3. Well, I can punch 7 and count backwards 3. 7, 6, 5, 4. So that leaves me with 4 ones here, and then I have 2 minus 1 more is 1. So what did I come up with as an answer? 14. That's my answer, just like I came up with the other 2 times. And then, of course, we need to say Fadila has 14 bows left. And that answers our question. We're going to put the 14 in the center and go ahead and cross out the S. And that is our complete solution to the problem. Hold on, we're going to go on to our next section. Hey guys, I'm standing here in front of my new garden, and guess what? There are so many shapes for us to see. So let's go on a little scavenger hunt. Let's see how many shapes we can see as we go through my garden. Come on with me. Did you catch them all? We saw so many different shapes. Now, let's take a look at what their names are and how many sides they have, how many corners they have, and what makes those shapes. Now that we had a chance to see all the shapes in my yard, let's take a look at what the shapes are called, and let's take a look at their characteristics, or what we call attributes. So, obviously this one is a triangle. Now, this part of our word, tri, means three. I want you to think of it like a tricycle, which has 3 wheels, or a tripod, which has 3 legs, okay? Even triceratops, which I think has 3 horns, right? So what I want you to remember is this has 3 corners and 3 sides. Now these corners can also be called vertices. I know that's a kind of a strange word, right? Vertices. And that means more than one corner. Now, what about the circle? Does the circle have any straight sides? How about corners? No, this is the one that has no straight sides, no corners, no nothing, because it's round. It doesn't have any of those. Let's take a look at the rectangle. The rectangle has 4 sides, and it also has 4 corners. Now, are you noticing something? I had 3 sides, 3 corners. Now I have 4 sides, 4 corners. Now, if we take a look at the square, I've got to tell you a little secret about the square. The square is actually a special kind of rectangle. Isn't that strange? I didn't know that. It's a special kind of rectangle. It's just shorter, right? But here's the little tip about the square. All the sides are the same length. All of them. And again, 4 sides, 4 corners. Now, let's take a look at our other 2 shapes that I have here. I have something called a trapezoid. Now, this kind of falls under the category. If I said to you, I want you to pick out a shape that has 4 sides and 4 vertices. Guess what? This one does too. I have one side here, 2, 3, 4, and again, I have 4 corners or vertices. And last, I have the rhombus. Now, a lot of you like to call that the diamond. It does look like a diamond, but it's not a diamond. Our big first grade word is a rhombus. So, again, 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, and 1, 2, 3, 4 vertices. Now, yesterday in your homework, it said something about angles, square angles. Now, an angle is where the shape kind of meets, and then it's how far apart or how close together the 2 sides are. Now, if I take a look here, like I showed you yesterday, that is not a square, is it? It's not a square angle. But if I take a look here, this does make a square angle, doesn't it? So usually you're going to find shapes like this have our square angles, and these ones here do not. What about something like this? Well, this one's tricky because if you look, you would think it sort of does, but these go out. I know I'm not the best drawer, but here's the thing. These go out at an angle. So if they're angled at all, they don't really make a square. So if they can't make a square, then there's no way it can be a square angle. And same thing here. Okay? So that is it for shapes. And I want you to think about everywhere you see shapes. We just went in my garden. We found lots of different shapes. So you can see shapes in your house. You can see them when you go for a walk. You see them when you're riding in a car. So I want you to think about every place you see shapes. Now, what we're going to do today for your homework is lesson number 2. Now, the pages aren't numbered for you. So what you're going to look at on the top, it says number 2. And you're going to go to a page that looks something like this. And what it wants you to do is this. It wants you to take out a red, yellow, blue, green, and black crayon. And what you're going to do is you're going to color in red the 4-sided shapes. So you're going to find the shapes that have 4 sides and color them red. And then 5-sided shapes yellow, the ones with no corners on them blue, 3-sided shapes green, 6-sided shapes black. Okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and color that up. And then on this page here, I want you to circle the shapes that are rectangles. And remember my secret, the square is a special kind of rectangle. Don't forget that, okay? And then the last page you're going to do is this one here. Now, what it wants you to do is it wants you to look at the shapes, tell how many corners, how many straight sides, and then you just need to match it to the name of it. Not too hard, right? Not too bad. Okay, so let us know if you have any problems, and make sure your parents send us pictures of your work. Have a good day. Get out in the sunshine.